I've been watching football since 2010, but over the past 3 years, I feel like I've watched more football than ever before. I've also gotten more involved on the football side of social media, and I've realized that Big Six Premier League fans in general are very annoying and make no sense. So let's go through 5 reasons why I can't stand a lot of Big Six fans. Please don't take it too personally, I'm just sharing all my thoughts. The first reason is the victim mentality they have for some odd reason. There are a few examples of this. The first one is one that I see about 10 different times throughout a Premier League season. It's when fan bases start claiming that there is an agenda against their club from referees. There is no referee agenda against certain clubs. The referees are just awful. There isn't some plot against these clubs. The referees aren't gathering together to see what team they should screw over at different parts of the season. The referees are just bad. Your club isn't the only one that suffers from bad calls. The other example is when Big Six fans start claiming that it's difficult to support their club. Man United fans are the kings of this little activity. Oh, it's so difficult being a Man U fan. Oh my god, we're suffering right now. It's not difficult to support a Big Six club at all. Wow, Chelsea and Man United aren't challenging for titles anymore. So what? You don't deserve to be. Doesn't mean that it's difficult to support the club. Also, this is a bit more general for big clubs around the world, but it's still not difficult to support big clubs outside of the Premier League as well. One time I saw a TikTok from some creators that I really respect, and they said that Borussia Dortmund and Tottenham fans are the most loyal fans in the world because they don't win any trophies. After seeing that TikTok, I almost deleted the app. Oh my god, you're so loyal for supporting two of the biggest clubs on the planet. There are clubs that almost disappear every year, but yeah, Borussia Dortmund fans have it rough. My next reason is that Big Six fans think that they deserve every good youngster or breakout star of that year. It's impossible for them to imagine a Premier League where there are good players outside of the Big Six teams. I think we are past the point of the Big Six having a massive gap between them and the rest of the league, and not every good player needs to be poached by the bigger teams. For example, last season Mitoma was a breakout star, and all that I would see is this guy shouldn't be playing for Brighton, he needs to go here, blah blah blah, whatever. And then this season I've seen a lot of silly comments like, how did we let Aston Villa get Moussa Diaby? I don't know, maybe because Villa have a good project and are a big club. It's not surprising that some of these players would rather stay at their current club or move to a club that isn't as big. This isn't too bad, I guess, but it's still a bit annoying to listen to because they think that they deserve the best players. Currently, teams like Chelsea and Man United deserve players like Michael Keane and Ali McBurney, not future superstars. The next reason is one that is actually the most frustrating to listen to. It's this idea that just because a player plays for a Big Six team, they are automatically better or perceived as better. Spoiler alert, just because you play for a bigger team does not mean you are better than players at smaller clubs. I think a very good example of this comes when we look at Chelsea and Man U fans especially. Chelsea fans seem to think they have the best players in almost every position. If you ask most Big Six fans who is better, Moises Caicedo or João Palhinha, a lot of people will say Caicedo just because he plays for Chelsea, even though João Palhinha is clearly a better footballer. Same thing with Enzo Fernandez and Douglas Luiz. If you ask most people, they would probably say Enzo is better, even though Douglas Luiz is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League and Enzo is nowhere near. I could keep going, but my point is that playing for a bigger club does not automatically make you a better player. This next reason is still one I can't wrap my head around. It's the idea that big games can only include Big Six teams. For example, recently Man United and Chelsea played, and there was all this hype about it, and oh my god, it's a big game this weekend. Why? Why is Manchester United versus Chelsea a big game? I understand it's two historically big clubs, but that game this season means absolutely nothing. It means the same as any other game that both teams will play realistically. Man United versus Chelsea is the same as Man United versus Luton Town. Also, there is a standard that we hold players to, and it's like, he can't do it in a big game, or can he do it in big games? But the big games only seem to be against Big Six teams, which makes no sense. Every player plays against the same teams, everyone is competing in the same league. For me, a big game isn't about what team the player is playing against, it's the situation the team is in. Man United and Chelsea played the same week that Aston Villa beat Man City at Villa Park. One of those games meant nothing, and the other one was a top four battle. But guess which one was called a big game? My final reason is mostly an American fan issue. Most of you probably already know, but the vast majority of football fans in America support Big Six teams. But whenever someone supports a team outside of the Big Six, it's like this crazy, unheard of, unimaginable thing. Most Americans are glory hunters, so it's always a shock when someone doesn't support a historically big team. Recently, I had an interaction with a football fan and I asked him what club he supports, and he said Man United. And then he asked me who I support, and I said the team that I support, and he responded by asking, "How come? Why do you support this team?" If I had said a Big Six team, I guarantee that the response would not have been a question asking me why I support that club. And I know this because I've witnessed it. It's a shock to people in America that people support teams that don't compete for trophies every year, and I think that mentality is just silly. So, those are 5 reasons why Big Six fans make me want to stop watching the greatest sport on earth forever. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Hopefully, no one got too offended. I'm really excited to read the comments later. It should be really fun. I definitely won't get any hate. But anyway, thanks for watching and thanks for the recent support.